Hello, how is everyone doing? It is your fallen angel back with another video. Today, we're going over Sex is an Imagination, part of the Brahmacharya playlist. So without further ado, let us just begin. Sex is the distinction between male and female. It is a mental creation. It is a kalpana, or imagination. There is no sex in the five elements of which the body is composed. The human body is nothing but a combination of the five elements. How then has the sex idea come? The sex idea is illusory. It is a trick of the mind. It is jugglery of Maya. It is a notion. The sex idea is deep rooted. Man can never think that he is a female. A female can never think that she is a male. For a liberated sage, the world is full of Brahman only. For a passionate man, this world is full of women. He falls in love with a wooden post if it is wrapped in a silken gown or a beautiful cloth with attractive borders and a petticoat. But what needs to be understood is, for a sage or a liberated person, they understand that there's something beyond the physical desires. For a man who is extremely in his passions, desires, and lusts, all he can see is women and lust, right? He can only see what he can see through light apparatus. Because he hasn't felt the spiritual touch. He hasn't felt what it's like to endure such a path, right? He only wants to enjoy the physical plane while he is here. But little does he know that everything around him is Brahman only. Or, in other words, the creator, right? Passion is a terrible curse. When a man is under the influence of passion, excitement, and the sex impulse or force, destroy his understanding and his reason, overwhelm his mind, and make him utterly helpless. There are so many brothers we know that not only just become slaves to their lust, but they intrinsically do not use their reasoning. They will let any woman just walk all over them. They will go through so much distress, so much agony, so much suffering, all because they may receive some sex at the end of the day. Because they have not intertwined spiritually. They're not practicing Brahmacharya. They're not practicing semen retention. They're not understanding the depths beyond. They don't understand Kabbalah. They don't understand the depths beyond this physical plane. They become a slave to their senses and get exploited by women. Often get exploited. People of high rankings, men with much money, men that are tall, great physiques. All these men become nothing, lapdogs to these women, right? Who becomes in control? The woman. Because this weak man is not spiritually inclined. As a spiritual man, you put your spiritual purpose, your spiritual journey, you put God first, and then your woman second. A householder who has rightly understood the magnitude of the sufferings of samsara tries to get rid of the samsaric life, whereas a bachelor full of passion, desire, lust, imagines that he is a very miserable on the account of the absence of wife and children, and tries to get married. This is Maya. This is a mental trick. Beware. So, naturally the physical body wants to reproduce. Naturally you want to have a family. Which is fine. This is great. No, we're not all telling you that you should be some kind of monk that should follow off into a forest and only be meditating for the rest of your life. That's not the end goal. Having a family, having a children, this is great. But the main premise is to understand that the pleasures and desires is not the end all be all. Understand why you have these animalistic desires. Understand why it is in play. Do not feed into these desires so irrationally. Allow yourself to understand why it is there. And then you could truly understand this spiritual journey. Because it is a difficult journey to begin with. It is difficult because in the end, it will be well worth it. A passionate bachelor is ever thinking, when can I live with a young wife? A dispassionate householder in whom Viveka has dawned in is ever thinking, when can I disentangle myself from the clutches of my wife and retire into the forest for contemplation on Atman? You must think over the difference. So, a passionate bachelor is thinking, when can I have a young wife and live off and ride off into a sunset? But a true young sage is thinking, when can I retire off and give myself to the greater being, the macrocosm within our microcosm, the God, the creator, right? Whoever you believe in, the creator, right? There's a difference in these two men. One is giving himself up to the creator, understanding the spiritual plane, understanding the physical plane, understanding the astral plane, understanding there's planes beyond this physical reality. The other man is a slave to his desires. He just wants to reproduce, fornicate, and essentially that may be it. Because this is all he knows. He does not know how to differentiate from his reptilian brain and his neocortex. Thousands of young graduates and young doctors come to me with their earthen pots in their hands, attired in orange-colored robes, in quest of caves in Uttarkashi and Gangotri for deep meditation and practice of pranayama. So even the most highest of highest ranked doctors, highest of highest graduates, highest of highest businessmen, lawyers, at some point, the physical desires will not suffice for you. They will not be enough. At some point, you will get tired of it. At some point, you will have to crave a higher meaning, a higher purpose, a higher part on the tree of the Kabbalah, a higher part in Brahmacharya. Whichever you practice, we understand that we are a light body, and there are many, many planes to this light body, whether this be the celestial, the astral, the physical, the Buddhist plane. There's many, many light bodies within. And some young research students in science and some Rajakumars go to Punjab and Kashmir in silk suits with stiff collars and ties and search for girls for marriage. In modern essence, many men live their entire lives for women. Everything they do is for women. They get the cars, they get for women. They get in shape for more women. They get in shape for more women. They get more money for women because this is what they desire. Ultimately, they desire to be with a woman, to copulate, to get married. They desire this, which is great. You should always strive to do good for yourself and do good for your household, etc. But it's essential to understand that there's a higher plane beyond this physical plane, right? Is there pleasure or pain in this world? If there is pleasure, why do the young, educated men retire into forest if there is pain? Why do young men run after wealth, woman, and position? Mysterious is Maya. Mysterious is Moha. Try to understand the riddle of life and the riddle of the universe. So with that being said, we'll leave you with that riddle. This is for you to understand and for you to relate in your cosmos. Understand that life is like a Fibonacci loop. You will see things, revisit things, people, experiences, until you learn from it, right? You will learn from these mistakes, learn from traumas, learn from why you're here, right? Everything is interconnected. We are all interconnected in this cosmos. It is essential for you to understand why Brahmacharya is a sacred practice. So, with that being said, feel free to check out other videos within this playlist of Brahmacharya. Also like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Check us out on Patreon, Rumble, Twitter, Instagram, things of that nature. This has been your fallen angel, and I am out.